In today's video, we're going to look at how you can actually style your WooCommerce store using the Divi theme. We're looking at setting up shop, product page design, and that sort of thing. So we'll get started. So the first thing I want to touch on is if you have WooCommerce installed and operating, then you're going to get something like this before you do any design, which obviously it's not too bad, but you might want to customize things a little bit or even remove the sidebar. But we're going to go in obviously into the proper full design of how that works. Now, this is the shop page, and you can see we've got everything set up. Our account page is here, checkout, and so on. So it's pretty straightforward to do, but there is a lot to remember. And if you haven't set up a WooCommerce shop before, that's something probably for a different video, but it's okay. I'll sort of show you how that works, and we'll go from there. So this is our shop page for now, our main shop page. And what I'm actually going to do is, instead of actually editing this here, I'm going to go into the back end, into the dashboard, and a lot of this is going to take place on the actual Divi theme builder. I'm going to go here to add a new template, and I want it to be for my shop page, and I'm going to create this template. So everything, we can actually keep the body the same if we decide to, and change the header and footer if we don't want to mess with the default WooCommerce setup. But for now, we're actually going to create a custom body. We're going to build a custom body for this layout. So we have an empty page here, and we basically just need to start building. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to add in a row, a full width row. I'm just going to say, just quickly, not going to get too in depth, we're going to say our shop, and we're going to make that a heading 1, and we're going to make this background a little bit different. We might give it a bit of a background image, something not too crazy, because we want to obviously add a little bit of flair to it, but we don't want to get too caught up in the details because we are here primarily for the WooCommerce side of things. Let's just use this for now. It's not going to look too good, but I think it'll do the trick. So we've got our shop there, the little heading page at the top there, because you can obviously use the Divi builder as you normally would to create a pretty comprehensive layout. We're going to add another section in, and we're going to keep it white this time. We're going to go one column, and this time we're going to add in, if we scroll on down to Woo modules, we're going to click on that, and we have all of these modules that we use for our WooCommerce store. We're going to add in breadcrumbs. Now, if I tick this, this is just like a little breadcrumb area at the top, so people can navigate your shop a bit more easily. However, you don't actually need to have that in there if you don't want to. And you can see if we go in, we've got some options. We want to have this product because this will actually show to the page it's associated with, because we're using the Divi theme builder. However, you can obviously apply it to different products if you want to, if you're actually building a product page. So that's pretty handy to know. Otherwise, that pretty much just goes in there, and you've got your usual design options. You can go and change the text if you want to, or the link color. It could be a real fluoro green or purple. So you've got your normal design options that you can play with there, which is pretty cool. And then we go plus, and if you go through your Woo theme modules, there's a lot of options in here. There's obviously product images and your upsells. You've got Woo products. If I click on that, you can see our products are there, and we can say use current page because we want it to be associated with whatever page it's linked to. So we're going to keep it at that, and we can change the product count and play with the settings. So the column layout is pretty cool. We can have one column. We can change the number of columns we have if we want to basically play with that. One column is going to look pretty crazy, so we might even go as much as 5 columns. And you can customize how many columns you have, and of course, if you want to, you can also add a column here if you want to add, say, a sidebar down the right here or something like that. But we'll just stick with full width for now. So we've got our page. This text is a bit huge, so we'll go back in there, and of course, we just go in to our design and just get things looking the way we want. So title text, we'll bring that down a bit. We can also set the price text and make it like that blue color and start to take control of how that all looks. And you can go down to your elements. You can choose to show the pagination or not. We'll actually turn on the pagination in this instance. However, it's not quite showing up because we have 5 products and 5 columns. So I'll go up again to content. I'm going to make this a 4-column layout. We're only going to show 4 products just for the sake of the video. And of course you can change how it's sorted by default, so price, low to high, popularity, that sort of thing. And you can also offset the products. If you have one big product at the top here, you can actually offset it by 1. So in this case, the camera is the first product, so if I offset it by 1, it should start with the little kitten mug and go from there. But we'll turn that back to 0. And you can just customize if you have a sale badge and turn that on or off, turn the ratings on or off, turn the price off if you don't want it. You can even turn the image off. So you've got full control over what elements are going to show up on the shop. And we also have now a pagination, so we go to page 2 and see our 5th product there. You get the idea. It's because we're in the builder, it's not really showing that at the moment. So, I mean, that is essentially what you need to do to actually build your shop page, and you can build the design around it. And there are, back in the old days, it used to be that there was a shop module in here. It looks like that has actually moved, it's completely gone, but all of your Woo modules here are generally actually more built for other pages, so we're going to get into those soon, because the actual shop module is pretty much there just to browse products, but you can also do such a thing such as, well, we can add in here another text, and we can just say cheap and nasty items, which is actually the name of a category I have, heading 2, or maybe heading 3. And I'm just going to duplicate the shop and then drag it down below by grabbing these little arrows. And now if I hover over, click the cog again, you'll see here, I can actually go, instead of using current page, I can turn that off. And I can actually use a certain category, so product category. And I can just choose cheap and nasty and just have that one category show up. Or I can, change to best-selling products or top-rated products, things like that. So you can actually go ahead and add multiple layers to your shop as well if you want to. For now, we're just going to keep it simple for the sake of this video, because once you know how to insert this area here, and then maybe even add other areas with different categories and things like that, it's pretty straightforward to follow. So I'm going to save that layout. We're going to exit. Now you might also find that that layout, you can build the same thing again for different categories and things like that, but you can also go into your cog setting in the Divi theme builder and go to WooCommerce pages. And what we can do is we can go to category pages. So we've got, I believe, some of this stuff can be difficult to find at times. So archive pages, all product category pages, or product tag pages. So all of the pages that list a number of products will refer to that design, and because we have the use current page selected in the actual shop module, it will draw from that page. Now remember to save these changes to apply them. So now if we switch back to our shop, so now you can see our shop is laid out the way we want it to, and if we decide to go to, say, the kitty cup, we do have just our existing product layout. If I go to the actual category here itself, it has only the items from that category. Now something else I want to touch on about this section here, I'm going to duck back to the theme builder, go into, now we've actually lost something here, so 1 second. An old tab I had open. We're going to go to shop layout here and go back in there for a sec, because there's something I missed that we can probably touch on very quickly. And that is if I go up here to shop, this text area here, and I remove that, I can just add post/archive title in there instead. And if I want there to be a heading 1, I can add in a heading 1 tag in HTML at the top, which is the 2 arrows of H1 in the middle. And then after, we're doing the same but with a slash before H1. So we can add that in there to make it a page title, and then we can save that layout. And then we're going to go check out the live version again. So now I'm going to refresh this page and see how it turned out. As you can see now, it has the name of the category. And if I go into shop, it will just simply say shop or products. So that way it changes automatically and you don't have to worry about creating a layout for every single category out there. So that's pretty cool. Now, like I said before, if we go into one of these products, we have our standard product layout, which is just built with It just comes with WooCommerce. We've got our image area over here, information on the right, description, and some related products. So I'm going to switch back to the theme builder, and we're going to exit. I'm going to create a new template for all products. So we're going to scroll down and go all products. Now keep in mind, you can also, instead of having all products, assign it to products in specific categories or specific products, and you can get very detailed with which products actually show which designs. So I'm going to create this template and create a custom body, build a custom body, so that we can take control of all of the product pages on our website. Okay, so we're just going to get stuck into it a little bit. So we're going to add in a single column. Once again, we can add in our text. We're going to get rid of this, pop in our post or archive title, and we're going to do our little H1 trick again. Maybe this time we're going to play with the layout just slightly, because we basically know how WooCommerce works. So we've added that one in there, tick. Now we're going to add something different. We're going to add a divider. We go divider, and we're just going to create a quick little divider line here, just to create something a little bit different. Sizing, we'll make the weight, the thickness. And then we'll start building the product page from there. So I'm going to add in a new row. We could go 50-50 like the existing design, but the images have got actually pretty tall. So I'm going to choose something a little bit different like this. I'm going to start adding in my images. So I'm going to go down to Woo Modules and add in, so we've got product images here somewhere. There's a lot of information here to go through, but we have product images, or product gallery, product images. We just do this product. Once again, you have your elements. You can show the featured image or gallery images and go like that. We can also add in our Woo product. If you want a bit of a guidance, wherever it says Woo product, that is what you'll actually use. Now, one thing I actually have done wrong here is I've used the archive. I'm going to actually get rid of that and add in Woo product title, because that's technically what I should be using. And move that above there. So we've got our Woo product images, and over here, we'll scroll down to Woo modules. We've got Woo product information, which is actually not what we're after, although elements. That's actually something like that you would find in your tab area. So I'm actually going to delete that, and Woo product description. And we want this product, and we want the short description. However, if you choose to use the long description, you can just change it to that, the normal description on your product page. So we have our description right here. We're also going to add in add to cart button. So Woo modules, Woo product, add to cart, and that is where you get your variables, your quantity, and the button all in one hit. And of course, you can turn off the quantity field. You can show stock if you don't want that sort of thing. So you do have some basic elements in there. And now we also have Woo product meta. You can add optionally if you want to, which is just a little bit of information down the bottom. So we'll go Woo product meta. Underneath here, we're also going to add Woo product gallery, just to sort of have a look at the difference. Oops. So we have something a little different down here, but it's all right. We're going to check it out when we're done and see what we've got. The other thing we're also going to do is add in our Woo product notice. Now, this is something you probably haven't thought of. So there's a lot of bits and pieces here that you're going to want to actually insert. So there's a lot to sift through here. Woo notice. So this is when you get a bit of information come out. So cart page, product page. So when you add a product to cart, information will pop up here, talking about what that is. If we can change the background of this, we're going to actually add an image just for the hell of it. So we'll add this leaf image, and that will be the notice. And we're just going to play with the spacing a little bit. Now also we can add in another full width area to add in a few other things, such as, there's a lot of bits and pieces here to go through, but you'll see what it all looks like in a minute. So we've got our Woo tabs, Woo product tabs. And what we also might do is change it up a bit. Usually we have product upsells at the bottom of this page. We're just going to make something a little bit, whoops, moves a little bit different. Now you can choose not to have all of these. You do need to at least have the product title and the add to cart button. But the image I would also recommend, and the short description. But we're also going to add in upsells. Cross sells you can't actually use on the product. It's only on the cart page you can add those in. But that's just a bit of information that's very handy to know if you're ever having a play with that. You can all add in the Woo product rating if you want to. So you've got 2 stars. There's all these other things you can add in, and you don't have to do all of them. Woo product reviews, if you want to add that in there, you can, and move that maybe say down the bottom. You can add that in there. One thing to keep in mind is, as always, if you go to design, star rating, you can change the color from red, and you can also have the star rating size larger. There's always design options that you can play with for these little modules, just to give them a little bit of extra customization. And we're just going to sort of add as much as we can in there, just to show you what is possible with this. So we've got Woo product upsell. Now at the moment, that's a bit jammed with the 4 photos and the 4 images in there. So we're just going to go down 2 columns, 2 products, click tick. So you may also like, so we've got a few options on our page now. And you sort of get the idea. Now, if I want to save this, one thing I'm going to actually do as well. Now, I'm going to add in another section just for the sake of design. I'm going to add another regular section and leave that. And I'm going to move this entire column section down into that white section. Now, this is actually something I've done in the past to liven up a product page, as I've added just a background image in there. So this time we'll go with that concrete look. It's a bit harsh at the moment. So what we're going to do is also just add a gradient over the top. Make it white, white, semi-transparent. And we're going to place that above the image. So we get this subtle sort of look here. And then of course, if we want to, we can add a divider at the bottom, maybe something like this. So our product page looks just a bit different than normal. And of course, like I said, you can put these into any of the columns you want, but the main information you're looking for is pretty much here. So we're gonna, once again, we're gonna save this and we're gonna see what it looks like live. And in order to do that, we've just got to X out, save and exit, although we've already saved, but just to be on the safe side, save and exit. We save our changes at the top here. And then once, of course, that has finished saving, please ignore that noise. And now we can tab across. And we've got our product page here from before. I'm going to refresh and we're just going to see how that looks. So you can see we now have a new layout. Information is here. Looks a bit strange having the title up there, so we can always move it down just to get the idea. And this is a little bit hard to see with that background color because it's sort of a gray on gray. But you get the idea of what we have. Now we have the product gallery, which is like a little slideshow. So you can choose to use that instead of this main product images area up the top here. So you've got a few options there, and then your usual bits and pieces down the bottom. So no one's actually rated it, so the rating isn't showing up. But if I go here and add 3 to cart, you'll see we now have our little notification showing up there on that. So we can go back and quickly clean that up if we want to. So I'm just going to move this down here just to give it a bit of a better look. I'm going to get rid of this divider, and we're going to stick with the product gallery just for something fancy. We're going to save that, tab back and refresh. We'll continue. And now this is what our product looks like. We've got our notification at the top because we've added something to cart. We've got our information here, globe. We can add the divider there if we want to as well. And you sort of start to get the idea. Get a bit of a background image at the top, a bit more information down the bottom. And that's how you get your product page looking the way you want it to. And it starts to get pretty simple from there. Now, well, like I said, you can take this as far as you want. You can also go and customize the checkout page. The My Account page, I haven't actually figured out. I can't seem to see any modules there for it. But you can check out, go to your cart or checkout page. So if I go to the cart, we can actually go in and customize this page also. So I will touch on that very quickly. We'll go to Enable Visual Builder. So one thing you'll notice, which I haven't seen this before, but I've gone into the cart page and all the modules are actually already there. So that is actually incredibly handy because it means you don't actually have to try and remember all the bits and pieces to add in there. So something worth remembering if you want to go in there. So these are actually all separate modules. We can change some of the layout if we want to. We can go to this column section here. We can go 3 columns if we want to. Move this across. But if you were building it from scratch, it would be a simple case of going in, getting the plus button, or starting your page freshly at the top, adding in your modules, and you'll find that the Woo modules section has WooCart products, WooCart total, so you got your products, which is here, your totals, which is the totals down the right over here, and of course you've got your cross sells, and it's actually pretty straightforward. With the actual cart itself, I think there's only really those 2 modules plus the cross sells that you can really add in there, but it also means you can fully design, custom design any of the layout if you want to. And of course up here the Woo notice settings are still there. You can return to the shop. This one is set up for the cart page, and you would find that if you did it for a checkout page, the same thing. So that's pretty much the same thing again. You can go in here and you can actually turn elements off, like the product image. If you don't want coupon codes, you can turn off the coupon code. You can actually go through and just change the remove icon so people can't remove. They have to actually just go to 0. So you can really actually make it very simple. Very handy sort of design options and bits and pieces. Your table header, you can change the color of that. So you've got some design options to really customize how this table looks. It's just a matter of going through and checking out what settings. You've actually got also different layouts. So this is the horizontal layout. You've got the vertical layout like this as well. So there's a few options there. Also under cart totals, you've got the column labels. You can make them bold. So you've got the same sort of options you would normally have. Table row color, make it red, which is obviously not very good. Each table cell yellow. So there's not a lot of options with the actual totals, but it gets a lot simpler from there. But the beauty of this is that you can take control of what's around the page. So when you decide to change this to, say, a layout like that, you can add some kind of custom sidebar over there. You can add a more detailed heading up the top. You can really take it to the next level and get it looking the way that you want to. And again, if I actually exit this visual builder, now keeping in mind that the actual cart page, I haven't used the Divi theme builder. I've used the theme builder for shop, product categories and archive pages and tag pages, and for the actual product itself. So the cart and the checkout, I've just sort of popped these in a poor order for the sake of the video. You can actually edit those pages directly because there's only one page. So again, if I go to Enable Visual Builder, you'll notice it has again converted everything into modules. However, there's a few funny things here, such as your login screen and that there. That may or may not show up, and you just got to go through and got billing details, shipped to a different address. It is actually showing all of the options. That doesn't mean all of them are going to show up, because if you actually click this icon here, that's when all the different fields pop up. So you can go through as per normal, and you've got all your elements you can change, and it's worth exploring those. The radio buttons can be something completely different. So you sort of get the idea. When you get to this area of everything, it does get a little bit more limited in what you can do. But at the end of the day, this is just where people end up to fill up their details. It doesn't have to be too fancy, but you get the idea. So that's essentially how you can design your shop, product, checkout, and cart pages for your WooCommerce website. The only other thing I will say now is if I just exit this, you can see how some of these fields have disappeared, and if I tick this, they reappear. So you can see how it all sort of looks pretty much the same as always. But with the My Account page, I did say before, there's not really any way I can see that where you can really customize the look of this page. But one thing to keep in mind is that if you are editing in Divi, you can pop a code module in there and use the short code here. As long as you assign the My Account page in your WooCommerce settings, you can use this short code to bring up the account in that area. So you can still take control of how it all looks and design around the page if you really want to. So just something I wanted to let you know. I'm going to zoom in on that. So it's the square bracket WooCommerce _, my _ account, another square bracket, and that's how you get the My Account page to show up. Use a code module or try a text module, but I think the code module is probably more suitable, and that can get you sorted out that way. So otherwise, that's pretty much the video for today, guys. It's like I said, just very straightforward. The rest of it is pretty much personal design choice and learning how to use the basic features of the Divi builder. But now you know what modules to use, some of the options, and how you can make it look a little bit different, a little bit better. Otherwise, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. And yeah, otherwise, if you like the video, give it a like. And if you want more Divi videos, I have a playlist below you can check out. It has a ton of Divi videos in there. Otherwise, subscribe for more, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a great day.